Ty, that was a quality game, but just what's the frustration level that you guys weren't able to get over the hump there at the end?
Yeah, I mean it's frustrating, but there's a lot to build from it. I think part of the come up of building something is learning how to finish games. Game came down to the last 5 minutes, and just a couple costly mistakes. I let Bogdanovich walk me down to the hoop, gets a layup. We got a turnover. We got another turnover. We just got to be better finishing games. But I think there's a lot to build from this, and I thought it was a great game throughout.
You kind of had your welcome to Sacramento moment with that fast break dunk in front of the full crowd. Even though it's your second season, did this feel like kind of that welcome to Sacramento moment for you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think last year when I had big plays, it was just I could feel people through through the cameras. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot different with them being here. And, that was a special moment. Something I won't forget. It was a lot of fun.
With the experience you had against the Jazz last season. I know it's just one game this season, but how different of a competitive force did you guys feel you brought to this opponent?
No, I mean we were right there. I thought we competed well. Throughout. Obviously, last year they came in here and beat us pretty bad, but it's a new year, and the good thing about the NBA is we'll see them again.
How impressed have you been with Davion's defense through 2 games, and just to see him playing at that level when he's only been in the league for 2 games? How surprising, impressive is that?
It's not surprising at all. Just from knowing him for so long, and knowing exactly what he brings to the table. I mean, you've seen it. This isn't something new. Like he's done this his whole career. College, summer league, and now. So that's just who he is. He's one of the best on-ball defenders in the NBA already. And when he's on an island with somebody, I'm picking him. Every time.
Tyrese, you a little bit more comfortable in this game compared to your first game. What was your thought process, to play offensively a little bit better in this game?
Yeah, just being more aggressive. I still think there's another level to go. I think I shot the ball pretty well, and I only shot really, 12, 11 shots, considering I shot a long one towards the end of the game. But I still think I could be more aggressive. I think, our coaching staff has been on me about it. And it's really something that my coaches have been on me about my whole life. So, just getting to my spots and being aggressive, it usually leads to good things.
Ty, to win the opener and then to come out tonight and really compete with this team that you guys struggled with so much last year, to see the points of emphasis actually coming through in games, how important is that? Is there some value in that early in the season to get that reinforcement that the things you guys are working on are actually translating onto the floor?
Yeah, I mean, we're not just talking about it; we're trying to be about it. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's the biggest thing is we've preached our pillars offensively and defensively, and what's expected from everybody from the moment, really from the summer, but obviously throughout training camp, and I think we've done that the last 2 games, and that's going to continue every night.
Tyrese, I'm curious for the whole group. You guys come off last season, and it's not just about the defense, but that was far and away the glaring problem for the group. What were those conversations, going into camp, well beyond Davion? Just what do you feel like you're seeing on that end, considering y'all are trying to turn it around?
You're talking about defensively or
defensively as a group? And I'm curious more about once you guys unpacked last season and had to look in the mirror about where that needed to get better, what were those conversations like, and how do you feel about how it's going so far?
Yeah, I think we talked about it, but I think a lot of it was, we already knew the deal from the moment the season ended. We knew what we had to get better in. We knew towards the end of the season, this is something we're going to have to build. This isn't something that we're just going to be able to show up for camp and be all right. It's something that we had to work through all summer. From the moment summer started, it was, a lot of, not just working on the offensive end of the game, but, playing 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4 all the way up to 5-on-5. Individual defense we're preaching, but also, help defense, just being better. And I think as soon as Longo got hired, coming on defensive coach, like in the summer, we were already learning our concepts, our terminology, before training camp even started, considering we had a lot of guys here. So I think that's helped us build a lot. I think that's just a part of it. Our summer was really all about work. From the moment the season ended, really, we were already in here during the whole playoffs and going into the summer. I think everybody had a really good summer, and that's what's helping us right now.
Hello, Tyrese. Hope you're doing well. What would you like to carry over from tonight's game, not only on game to the game against the Warriors, but also for the rest of the season? And how better team you feel you became each and every day?
What was the second part of the question? I'm so sorry.
How better team you feel you became each and every day?
I think there's a lot to take away from tonight. I thought we were really good defensively. We got a lot of big time stops. We got to clean up the turnovers. We had a couple bad ones, bad long outlets that are being intercepted. And then towards the end of the game, I had Buddy threw it and dove out of bounds and turned that over as well. So we just got to be better. If we clean that up, we'll be just fine. And offensively, I mean, we got a lot of good looks, but we shot 22% from. Right, yeah, 22% from three. I wouldn't say that's a representation of our team, and I think we could be a lot better than that. So, you hit a few more of those, it could really change the dynamic of the basketball game. So, I think we just got to keep building off that.